I'm Tisse, and this is your Monday Mojo, your source for energetic alignment with the mojo that is your power, your freedom, and your most delicious life. So go ahead, grab your morning beverage of choice, and let's do it. Let's start off with our check-in, taking a moment to really connect with our bodies, connect with our hearts, connect with our minds, and just notice what's present, what's here. Usually we tend to wake up and go, and all we're focused on is what there is to get done. And so really establishing a practice for ourselves where we pause for a moment to check in can be really, really beneficial for the rest of our day. So go ahead, check in, do a little scan, imagine like a wave just washing over your entire body. Just notice what's there, what's at the top of my head, what's down my face, any tension in my muscles, any tightness, any sensations, any tingling, any warmth or coolness, and just notice what's present. Allow your attention to continue down your body, down through your arms, through your back, through your torso, down through your hips and your legs and your knees and your ankles and your feet. Give those toes a wiggle. I see you, body. I feel you. I'm here. Like, this is what we're saying when we're paying attention in that manner. And now just notice, like, what's in your heart? What's alive for you? What's it like to be in your head right now? Do you have thoughts racing? Is it pretty quiet up there? Just notice what's there. Yeah. And what do we do when we check in? We tell ourselves, I see you, I hear you, you matter to me, and today I'm going to do my best to attend and care for you, to get those needs met. Yeah. Let's take a deep breath in together. Let it out, maybe like in a little sigh. Wiggle around your shoulders. All right, we're ready to dive in. So today I wanted to share a story with you. Some of you may have heard this story before, but it's one that I really, really enjoy. And it's simple, it's short, it's about a little kid. And this little kid has 2 apples, one in each hand. And their parent walks into the room and says, "Oh, I see you have 2 apples. May I have one?" And the little kid right away takes a bite out of one, takes a bite out of the other one. And the parent is just standing there like, oh man, like my kid just bit both of those apples so that then they wouldn't have to give it to me. But then the kid says, "Here you go. This is the sweeter one." I love that story. I love that story so much because there's just so much that it says. There's so much messaging within that simple story. First and foremost, that sometimes things aren't what we think they are. Like what we think is going on, what we think is going on in somebody else's head, in somebody else's heart, may not be accurate. And so it's essential that we check our assumptions with one another. We ask, we investigate. Sometimes maybe it's just giving something a little more time and noticing the reaction within ourselves and just kind of like pausing, not allowing ourselves to react so quickly. So it's like being willing to get curious in the moment. What's actually going on? So how do we do this, right? Like how do we actually build the ability to do that? Well, our feelings, our emotions are there as flags or signals. They're really useful in that way. So when I feel a sudden rise of emotion within me, this is my cue to pause. And just to notice, to identify and label what that feeling is, and then to get curious, like, where did that come from? Where are these feelings originating? And here's a little secret, like, I love this because before when, oh man, this was like 20 years ago when I was in a really dark place. I used to think that sometimes there were feelings inside of me for no reason. For no reason. Like I would feel bad or I would feel angry. I would feel depressed for no reason. And let me tell you, that will never, ever, ever, ever be the case. Feelings originate in thoughts. So now it's a little tricky because a thought can be occurring in the conscious part of the brain, and it can also be, more likely than not, occurring in the unconscious part of the brain. And what do I mean by thought? It's just a thought event is like your brain processing something. Your brain thinks something is happening. So in a moment when I'm having a surge of feeling, this is my brain saying, oh, I've concluded something is true here. Something is happening here. And if it's an unpleasant feeling, this is your brain saying, hey, like this situation either isn't meeting your needs or isn't going to meet your needs soon. That's why we have this feeling communication within us. So I want to now investigate, well, what is the thought that my brain had that is concluding that one of my needs is not getting met or it's about to not get met? So in this case, in this story for the parent, that surge of like, oh my gosh, like something's happening here. What was the thought that the parent was having? The thought was, my child is acting selfish, or my child is not wanting to share with me, or I haven't taught my child to share, or my child doesn't love me. Like there's so many ways that the brain can process a situation just automatically, reactively. And so as a parent, it's really, really important to be capable of pausing and investigating that. Now, I said as a parent, but really anybody, right? For all of us, it's so important to be willing to pause and investigate. Like, okay, I'm having a feeling, it's signaling me that something's going on. Now, what is my brain making that mean? And when I can see the meaning that my brain has made, in other words, I can see the originating thought or the belief that's indicating one of my needs is not going to get met, now I can further investigate. I can say, is that true? And sometimes if I'm just pausing sufficiently, I will find out in the next few moments if that's true or not. Other times, it is important to make a question to verify what my brain thinks is actually happening. So maybe something as simple as, is it that you're not wanting to share with me? And then that way we can find out. So, man, I think that story illustrates that point so well, that when we think something's happening, it may or may not be what's actually happening. And so we want to practice that pause. The other thing that it makes me think of is more along the lines of the paradoxical nature of life. The more I study, the more I learn, the more I realize like life is just one giant paradox. It's not one thing or another, but both at the same time. And the more you strive in one direction, the more it goes in another direction. I don't know, it's like so counterintuitive. And one of the concepts is the more that we give, the more we receive. And we're like, well, how could that be true? And I see this beautiful example with this little kid in this story that had such a desire to give, to contribute, and took a bite out of both to investigate which was the sweeter apple. And that was like the beauty in the story. That was like the gesture, the unexpected gesture of giving. And I think it's amazing when we can teach our kids that joy of sharing, and really how when we contribute, it nurtures us, it fulfills us, it satisfies us in a way that receiving simply cannot. Now, here's the paradox. If we give in order to receive, like that doesn't work. Because then now we're like expecting to receive. And now we're like, well, where's my, part of it? When's it my turn? And so if I give because I'm wanting or setting myself up to receive, and it doesn't happen, I'm setting up that expectation for myself, well, now it'll only build up resentment and potential disappointment. But if I can genuinely connect with the joy of giving, this is where it'll come back tenfold. So yes, that's why that's just one of my favorite stories. It's like that little unexpected twist at the end and the different messages that are within this simple story. I hope you enjoyed that. All right, let's get into some soul streaming for today. So again, soul streaming is a practice that I enjoy doing that really utilizes or leverages the power of my memories and the power of my imagination to align myself with an emotion, with a feeling, with a state of being that I'm wanting to experience more of. And so for today, I thought acceptance was what was really arising within me, that state of acceptance and openness. Like, what is that like? Can I connect more with that in my body? Can I remember a moment? So that's how I'm going to start. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm simply going to start by asking myself, where have I experienced this before? And not that I'm going to focus on the situation, but that I'm going to focus on what that experience was like and seeing if I can connect with it again right now in this moment. Okay, so here we go. And I invite you to close your eyes with me and take this emotional journey if that feels good to you. If not, feel free to keep your eyes open. Let's take a deep breath in together and let it out slowly through your mouth. Oh, right away, like just in that breath, I felt my neck and my shoulders drop just a little bit more. Simply that can be just so powerful. Just taking a moment to center, to breathe, to ground myself. And now I'm going to start taking a look at this word of acceptance. Acceptance. Where have I experienced that before? Acceptance. Very quickly, what's arising within me is being very clear, like wanting to be clear with myself about what acceptance is not. Starting a little backwards today. That's okay. So what acceptance is not, it's not about settling. It's not about enduring or tolerating. Acceptance allows space for my preferences while not resisting what currently is. There is no fight. There is no struggle. I can ground myself in the moment. I'm feeling just like a sense of steadiness in my core. I'm feeling this energy of like just, I don't know, energy, motion, traveling down my body and down through my legs, down through my feet and into the ground. Acceptance. There's very much this sense of I am here. I am here, I am now. I am here, I am now. I am here, I am now. And whatever I prefer is valid. I'm balancing two things at one time. Whatever I prefer is valid on one hand, and what is occurring around me is. It is. I'm not going to judge it as good or bad or right or wrong. It simply is. This is, and I get to have preferences for how I would like to shift, how I would like it to move, what I would like to take a step toward. Acceptance is feeling like knowing where I'm at. Allowing this moment to be my starting point for what I want more of. Knowing that I can clearly identify a desire, and when I can take a moment to accept where I am, it gives me a sense of direction of how I can take a step toward what I'm wanting more of. I am here now, and I know what my next step is. There's a peace in that. There's a calm in that. And there's also like momentum. Like it feels like I can really connect with a part of me that clearly desires progression, evolution, growth. And there's this peace in knowing that that's part of my humanity. That's simply a part of who I am and how I'm built. And it is inevitable. It is inevitable that I will continue to shift and grow and evolve and change. Like there is no stopping life. It continues to move. And if I can allow myself to be okay in this moment, as well as to have my preferences, I can trust that I'm going to continue taking step by step toward more of what I am wanting. I'm feeling a lot of reassurance in that. Ooh, I feel that in my back. It's like this oh, it's almost like a tree sort of formation. Like just like energetically, just feels like a strength in the back. It feels like reaching out, like branches that are strong yet flexible. They're able to move and flow and allow for the situations and circumstances of the wind around them to move them, but not break them. The core is strong and steady and calm. The branches and the leaves are fluid in motion, just kind of dancing around. In this moment, what's really present is just that self-trust. Self-trust, trusting that I will be okay, that I can allow myself to have a strong, steady, calm core, and trust in myself that I can have aspects of myself that are flexible, able to bend, able to move with ease and to move with the flow of life. Yes. Now what's present is like this sense of sunshine, of warmth, just like radiating down upon me. And I think I'm gonna just end with that warmth. I'm gonna bring that back into my core, and just really focus on that sensation of warmth, bringing that warmth into my core, into my stillness, my centeredness, my ability to be with this moment just as it is. Let's take a deep breath in together through the nose, out slowly through the mouth. And if you closed your eyes, go ahead and open them back up when you're ready. I hope you're able to join me for that wonderful journey, connecting with ourselves, with the energy of life, connecting with this amazing emotion that we have access to simply through the power of memory and imagination. And we can tap into it, we can gather more of it, and allow ourselves to start our day off in a state of being that really serves us, that supports us, that brings us into that next step of life. If you've enjoyed this and our time together, I really hope you'll come check out our weekly class with the How of Happy. It is the interactive and in-depth version of this work. If you'd like more information, please feel free to visit howofhappy.com or send me a text to the number 518-328-4773, and I'll send you a Zoom link so you can join us to come check out class for free. Come check it out. See if it fulfills you, it supports you, it inspires you. Thank you so much for joining me today to get your mojo on. And now, as you go back out to that wilderness that is your week, I really hope that you connect to the source of your feelings, the preciousness of your presence, and your role as creator of your life experience. I love you, have fun, and I'll see you next week.